Okay. What did he say?
Hey, my first time ringing that bell. That felt good. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Well, let's, as we all stand, let's remember why we're here today, and it's for the kids. Let's confirm that by saying our defining statement. Kiwanis is a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world, one child, one community at a time. Say our pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Clay, would you like to lead us today in a little celebration?
Yes, I forgot to celebrate last month's birthdays, but we have a whole nother month right now. So let's sing happy birthday to fellow Kiwanians. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kiwanians. Happy birthday to you.
Jimmy King, that's tomorrow. Frances Bobby, I don't think she's here today. And Susanna Robinson, thank you. Our invocation today is going to be from Charlie Sawyer, thank you.
In 1753, 12 Moravian brethren came down the old wagon road and established what we now know today as Old Salem. The Moravians are known for the Moravian blessing, and we'll use that today. If you'll bow your heads. Come, Lord Jesus, our guest to be, and bless these gifts bestowed by thee. Bless our loved ones everywhere and keep them in your loving care. Amen.
All right, we're going to call on one of our guests here with us today from the Rotary Club. We're going to talk about a little announcement for an event we've got coming up. That's Deborah DeCamelis, and I'll let
Come on up, Deborah. So I've been telling you guys about our Rise Against Hunger event that is with Rotary. This is Deborah DeCamelis. She's with the Rotary Club. Which one? North Raleigh Rotary. And she and I have been kind of planning this event together, so I invited her today so we could make sure you could all see it. What do you think about the number of people who've signed up so far?
Oh, we have way more Rotarians signed up than Kiwanis.
Oh.
Like 3 times as many.
But we're giving way more money so far.
We'll get there. We are notoriously last-minute signer-uppers. I don't know if anybody can identify with that. So I know it's coming.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you guys May 10th in the morning for the Rise Against Hunger event. You can use the QR code there. We'll be sending out an email as well with the link for you to sign up. And we're going to have a little get-together afterwards at the Compass Road Brewery, which is right around the corner from Rise Against Hunger. So please sign up, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your Key Club members, whatever. Any last words, Deborah?
Well, I had 2 things I wanted to say. One of them is I thought I didn't know any Kiwanians except Sandra, but now I know so many of you. Mm-hmm. And sitting beside Phil Kirk, we had a moment, didn't we? Yeah. And also, I thought it was nice when Sandra and I started talking as we were planning this, we found so many ways that our lives overlapped and things that we had in common. And I just appreciate being able to be here today. My brother is a Rotarian in Wilson, in case that kind of softens that whole Rotary thing for you. I have connections.
Thanks, everybody, and we hope to see you May 10th.
Remind me that sign up is on this table, right? Okay, membership welfare. So I'm speaking today because June couldn't be here with us. Obviously, she's just had Mohs surgery on her face. So let's keep her in our prayers, and you can reach out to her. Of course, we just found out this morning that we lost John Brantley. Yeah, I don't know if you've missed that email. It was kind of last minute on the way to the club today, but he passed this morning. And so we'll have a moment of silence for him this afternoon. And then, of course, we'll eventually have a memorial resolution for him. But details about the funeral and all of that will be forthcoming. I guess maybe Clay has some more information.
No, I have no other information.
Okay, so stay tuned for the news on that, and Courtney will get that out for us. Gina Bunch, she's also not here with us today. Her husband is having a procedure, so let's keep her thoughts. Any praise reports? Anything good happening in the club we need to talk about? Say again? You made a birdie, not a bird?
A 20-foot birdie.
Well, the golf tournament, I'm going to call on Andy in just a minute, was yesterday. And you know, one of our biggest muscles that our club has to flex and work with is our foundation and our grant money that we dole out every year to the our community partners. That's a really big thing, and our annual golf tournament is our fundraiser for that. So that was yesterday, and if anybody was a volunteer there yesterday, why don't you stand up and be recognized? Because we had a lot, and that was a big help. Now, if anybody played in the tournament, you want to stand up too? I don't know that we have our final results on that yet. But it was a fun time. Andy, do you want to just say anything about that?
Okay, talking to it. There we go. Yeah, absolutely. I'll echo what you said. As far as the volunteers, thank you very much. That thing does not happen without volunteers. No way. You know, the weather was fantastic again. Cricket, thank you for the weather. I mean, years and years she's been doing that, and I appreciate it. What I wanted to do was name off, go through the sponsors, because the sponsors are a huge part of that as well. You know, the platinum sponsor this past year, again, was Air Experts. Gold level was the Jim Allen Group, Logano's, Paul Schroeder Family, MPC Public Accountants, Norton Collar, London Lilly. And then the silver, we had Extra Attic, Stuart Phoenix, Youngmore and Henderson, and Triangle Wealth Management. And then again, yeah, all the volunteers who just stood up, but you know, Sandra, Buck, Gwen, Robbie, Robert, Phil, Hugh, Sam, and Bill, thank you guys again, because again, without the volunteers, that goes nowhere. I don't have the final tally as far as money is concerned. I will. I got home a little after 8 last night, packed it all up, put it away. I'm going to get to it this evening when I get home. And then, yeah, absolutely, the winners. We had, on the net side of things was Chris and Jason. And then on the gross was Andrew Leager, and then Stevenson, Brewer, and Jernigan. I don't know their first names. But regardless who won or didn't win, that was a fantastic event, and we, you know, raised a bunch of money. And again, I just appreciate everybody that comes out there and does it. Hopefully, if you can play next year, please come out. I think it's April the 29th, but whatever the date is that he told me last night, the 29th of April, the first Thursday, well, it's not the first Thursday in May this time. It's April the 29th. How about that? So put it on your calendar. We'd love to see you next year. And that's it.
Yeah, and no reason to feel intimidated by a golf game, because we play best ball, basically. So as long as someone's good on your team is going to do well.
Yeah.
And this was a photo that I took yesterday. So that's the turnout. Every one of those cards has got two persons in them. So it's a lot of fun, and it's a beautiful course. So yeah, remember that for next year. The Rise Against the 100, we've already spoken about. Just remember to look at your table for that sign up. Charter night, I'm going to call on Courtney to talk about that a little bit. Remember, we have gotten the cost for that down to $25. It was $60 and more than that in the past. So let's take advantage of that and make sure we get a sign up. There you go.
Okay, I have put an official sign-up sheet on some of these tables. It's on notebook paper, written with Sharpie. So I really encourage you to please sign up. The link online that I have been sending out is now corrected. There was a setting that I didn't click. So please sign up. I mean, only got a couple of weeks until we have to have the final numbers in for the catering, so we encourage all of you to come. New members, we're going to be recognizing the new members. We will be recognizing our past presidents. We will be recognizing Kiwanians of the Year. So it's a really nice evening, and I hope all of you can come in and join with us.
Thanks.
And it's
Hey, Robbie.
Saturday, May 17th, which also means we will not be meeting Friday, the 16th.
That's right. Robbie, give us a wave back there, our current Kiwanian of the Year. All right, now I have another fun announcement. We got a lot going on. So this is a brand new thing for our club, at least as far as I know. We learned about this sort of as an open house opportunity from our meetings with the convention, down at the conventions. K Family Day is an opportunity for us to invite all of our SLP students, faculty advisors, and their parents to come meet our parent club. A lot of times people in this Key Club, they love the Key Club and they have no idea that they're in the Kiwanis family. So we want to tell that story and have an opportunity to meet them, meet their parents, get some of these Key Clubbers, when they're sending in their scholarship applications, they're really involved and they would love to come and meet us. I've invited our Circle K group as well. Lee is helping me get these out. So if you are an SLP advisor to one of our Key Clubs, this went out from Lee. Just be on the look for your email, and please forward that right to your faculty advisor because we're going to run low on time for that. And there's no charge. We're doing hamburgers and hot dogs. We're going to meet at Kiwanis Park that morning, 11 to 2, and we have the whole thing rented out, and we're just going to have a good time and hang out. So keep that in mind, okay? Next, exciting, we have Dan Martin. Where are you guys? And Andrew Perry. We're going to welcome one of our newest members. Please come to the stage. Dan's our new member, and Andrew is our sponsor. Here you go.
Awesome. All right, greetings, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a real pleasure, a privilege to introduce and sponsor my friend, Dan Martin, and welcome him to the club. Dan is a North Carolina native, born in Sunset Beach, attended UNC for college, despite what I think were some scholarship offers to other local schools, so that was a good choice, Dan. His work, he's worked in the finance industry for the past 25 years. His work has taken him from Wall Street with Cantor Fitzgerald to Dallas, Texas, and a little over a decade ago here in North Carolina. Dan is no stranger to volunteer work. He has a lot of history with Big Brothers Big Sisters, also as a donor for a blood donor for the American Red Cross. He is a man of deep connection to his community and his family. I believe it is for this reason that he recently went out on his own as a financial planner to dig even deeper into his community. He is talented, diligent, and hardworking, traits which have served him well in his career, as exemplified by our conversation at the table over the past 20 minutes. He often makes, he has great insight into the market and often makes subtle suggestions as to what to do, suggestions which I hear, often have ignored, but which have paid dividends for him and those who listen to him. So a few lesser known facts about Dan. In his younger years, he thought about being an actor or a politician. He served, I don't know, it's a good question. You'll have to ask him the difference. He served as a page in the U.S. House and once called Bill Clinton ma'am when he picked up the phone. Love to hear more about that story. He's a big basketball fan and very involved in his son Callan's basketball. He loves to travel. He met his wife Stacy while vacationing in Mexico. Yes, I've got permission to say that, not from you, but from your wife. Dan is a proud father to Callan and Caroline, and as I said, a husband to Stacy. It's my privilege to welcome him.
We'll do a little induction ceremony here. Great. All right, thank you very much, Dan. So the vision of Kiwanis is to have a positive influence in communities worldwide, so that one day all children will wake up in communities that believe in them, nurture them, and provide them with the support they need to thrive. Dan, having indicated a desire to become an active member of our club and having been approved by our board of directors as a member and having gone through our club orientation, Do you agree to embrace the vision of our club and the Kiwanis organization? We will. All right. Well, we welcome you to this global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world one child and one community at a time. And if you will please present him with his pen, we officially welcome you on behalf of the entire membership and in the Kiwanis Club of Raleigh. Oh, here you go. Oh, that's right, and don't forget to sign the apron on the way out of here today if you haven't already. Those are always fun to pull back out at pancake breakfast. So I'm going to call on Buck now. We're going to do our nominating, voting for officers and directors.
Well, thank you so much, and yes, I'm up here again. I've been looking for this opportunity to say, hey, maybe this will be the last time I'll be up here, but thank you so very much for that. I appreciate your encouragement. I want to present the following list of nominees for our positions. First of all, for president, who is currently our president-elect, Hugh Grice, president. Taking his place as president-elect is Gina Bunch. Gina is not here today because her husband is having some surgery, but I've been in contact with her, and she is really fired up about being president. Our position of treasurer is still open. And Dan, I just heard that information about your financial background. Please see me afterwards. We do need a treasurer. Our current treasurer, and let's give him a round of applause, John Collar. And John has graciously agreed to stay on as treasurer until we get one, provided we don't take forever to get one. And we're not planning to take forever to get one. Our secretary, we're going to present for re-election, Courtney Allen. Courtney. And our directors, who will be replacing the class of 23-25, and that class is Robert Cooper, Hamp Fields, and Travis Wiggs. We are nominating Bill Burlington, Grady Jackson, and Susanna Robinson. Although not elected, but our immediate past president will be our current president, who is June Small. Are there, Madam Secretary, is there a quorum president? President. There is a quorum present. Are there any nominees from the floor? Any nominees from the floor? Any nominees from the floor? I'm supposed to ask it 3 times, okay? Any nominees from the floor? Okay, we have a quorum. There are no nominees from the floor, no further nominations. Do I have a motion to approve the nominated officers and board members and approve them by acclamation? I have that. Do I have a second? I have a second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. The ayes have it. Everyone is elected. Thank you so much.
John, can I call you up as well? Buck, perhaps before you sit down, I might call you back up here real quick.
Buck, you don't know this, but yesterday on the golf course, we elected you as treasurer. I'm kidding. So, Buck, once a year, we like to recognize the past president, and that's why you're back up here, maybe for the last time, I don't know. But we wanted to have you up here. We wanted to recognize Buck for his year of service as president. One of the ways that we do that is provide a donation to the past president's charity of choice. Buck has asked that any donation go to the 4-H Youth Development. We'll do that in the amount of $200. I have not done that yet. I'll do that later. But we also want to present you with a plaque, Buck, on behalf of the club. I'm pleased to present this plaque to commemorate your year of service with much appreciation and gratitude on behalf of the Kiwanis Club of Raleigh. Let's give Buck a
Thank you so much.
All right, we have a very special guest speaker today, talking about a very important topic. You all know her. I'm going to have Phil come introduce, and we'll move right along. Thank you.
Typically, when we have Kiwanians as our speakers, we don't give them much of an introduction because most of them don't deserve it. But today we have one who does. I couldn't resist the opportunity to introduce Sandra. Sandra is the co-founder of the Center for Technical Talent, Transformation, and Leadership. She's a principal in the Lean Team Management Consultants. I first knew her when she was employed by GlaxoSmithKline for 20 years. By the way, Sam Straight, Sam, raise your hand. Sam was also employed at GlaxoSmithKline at the time, but improving him proved to be too much for Sandra, and that's one of her only failures that I know about. Her title then was Master Continuous Improvement Consultant. Part of her management and leadership philosophy is she never gives up on anybody, including Sam. There's still some time. Sandra has a BA degree in biology from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro and an MBA from the Keenan Flagler School at UNC Chapel Hill. Some of our former club presidents have faded away after serving, but not Sandra. She's been willing to take on nearly every job in our club. You've seen her today. But just yesterday, she volunteered at the golf tournament, and she also led our successful diaper drive. Those are just two examples. She's married to Mike, whom many of you know. He comes for a free meal fairly often here. Here's an interesting but little-known fact about our speaker. After graduating from high school in South Carolina many years ago, Sandra went to Northwestern University to study theater and hopefully to become a professional actress. Time's not up yet on that. So it's my pleasure to introduce Sandra Birkhead. I'm glad that I think I'm glad that we couldn't get a speaker for today.
Thank you, Phil. That whole actress thing didn't quite work out like I thought it would, but I used all the classes all the time in the rest of my career, so we're good. So, I don't like that man. I must get to know him. That's a quote attributed to Abraham Lincoln, and it embodies the spirit of Braver Angels. If you're like me, you've been hearing a bit about Abraham Lincoln because of all the division in the country these days. And hopefully you're interested in doing what you can to make the country less divided. I'm going to take a closer look at the personal cost of political polarization, and then tell you a little bit about Braver Angels, including how our organization views polarization and what we can do about it. First, let's define polarization. I'm actually going to use a specific term called affective polarization, which is what Braver Angels really focuses on, because that relates to our emotions and attitudes. And that's what we try to tackle. So over the last few decades, our affect, that emotions and attitudes, have stayed about the same for our own political parties, maybe gotten even a little bit better. Not so with how we feel about the other party. Our attitudes have become increasingly more negative about people who don't feel the same way we do. We have animosity, we have contempt, we distrust them, we feel really negative feelings about the opposite political party. And it's not just about issues we're talking about, but how we relate to fellow Americans who differ from us politically. We feel like they're the other they're alien to us, we don't understand them, we don't think they're trustworthy, we don't like them, and we think they're morally compromised. I have personally had people tell me they refuse to talk to their neighbor because of who they voted for in the last election. Or also tell me they think everyone who voted for a certain candidate is stupid. Affective polarization is really dangerous when people become willing to do anything to defeat the other party. We also tend to be unwilling to admit that our party does anything at all wrong. We're always perfect. Our group is very diverse thoughts, but the other side, they're all exactly the same. So here's a sense of how polarized we really are. This is a measure of who we're willing to welcome into our families. So in 1960, 4% of Republicans and 4% of Democrats thought they'd be pretty unhappy if their child married someone from the other party. In 2018, that had gone up to 35% of Republicans and 45% of Democrats. And I suspect it's even higher today. But the good news is, we have way more in common than we think. And that's where Braver Angels comes in. Our mission is to bring Americans together to bridge the partisan divide and strengthen our democratic republic. We have a pledge that includes this phrase: as individuals, we try to understand the other side's point of view, even if we don't agree with it. Now that's tough to do, so we recognize the need to really listen and then try to understand. Another part of our pledge: in our communities, we engage those we disagree with, looking for common ground and ways to work together. This is also difficult, but as an organization, we look to have conversations that may lead to common ground. Sometimes they don't, but a lot of times they do. Our rule is to have equal numbers of red and blue leaders at every level in our organization. So equal numbers of leaders. Now, I've said this, I also admit that our membership has more blues than reds, and we're always recruiting blues to participate, or reds to participate with us. Braver Angels seeks to reflect America and the population that we want to serve. So, core values for our organization: respect. We will talk about our fellow citizens on the other side with respect for their intelligence and goodwill. We will avoid characterizing them as deserving of our disdain or pity. Humility. Sorry. I know nothing about Macintosh. So humility, we'll talk about our own side with the knowledge that our leaders aren't perfect and that our policy solutions aren't going to lead to perfection in this very complex country. We deal with them with honesty. So we allow you to say, I'm very excited about what's going on currently, or I'm very sad about what's going on currently. And our last core value is responsible citizenship. So everyone needs to participate. Our work at Braver Angels is to build a house united. And although what I've told you so far makes it seem like we're just reds and blues, that's not true. We invite people of all political persuasions to join us. Registered independents, unaffiliated folks, people who think of themselves as others, or people who think of themselves as purple because they have a mix of red and blue values and policy issues. So how do we start? This is a picture taken at our very first workshop. So that workshop was a red-blue workshop that was happened in 2016, just after the election. We used the concepts from marriage counseling. I know that seems a little crazy, but it works, to develop this workshop. And it brought those reds and blues together to help them better understand the other side. And it was an effort to reduce polarization. We started in about 2017 with additional workshops. We developed a formal structure across the nation. We had explosive growth in 2020 after that election, and we started doing things online as well as in person. In 2021, we started getting recognized by media all over the country, by members of Congress. And in 2022, we started an initiative called Braver Politics, and I'll talk about that in just a few minutes. So here are kind of the three areas that we offer programs. Grow Bravely, those are our training and discussion workshops. Pair Up Bravely, those are one-on-one conversations. So if you're interested in having a one-on-one conversation with somebody on the opposite side politically, you can sign up, we'll pair you up with somebody, and you can do that for as long as you want. And Experience Bravely, so those are debates, book and movie discussions, etc. Our workshops around conversations are where we talk about issues between reds and blues. So it's a wide range of topics in the red-blue workshop, and Common Ground workshops, we take one specific issue, get a group of mixed political folks together and talk about solutions that then they can take action on. We do skills training workshops as well. So you can learn to talk with somebody, disagree better. You can learn to depolarize yourself if you talk about the other side in a negative way all the time, to recognize that. And one of our favorites right before Thanksgiving is families and politics. So we teach you how to deal with your family members that are on the opposite side as you. So what about results? We reduce affective polarization. The events that when people attend, they find that they lead to seeing others as individuals, not some faceless group of people who are trying to stand in the way of things happening. 70 to 80% of our participants say they have a better understanding and a change in perceptions, and that may lead to some changes in attitudes and action. For our red-blue workshops in particular, 85% of people who participate feel less angry and estranged. 87% gain a significant understanding of what's going on the other side. And 91% see areas of commonality with those people sitting across the table. We had a great academic study as well. It was done across 7 universities that found that we truly are reducing affective polarization. There's a theory that evolved from the study that says people given more information and an emotional understanding of another group become moved to empathize more with that group. Now, very important, our goal is not to change people's views on issues, and that is difficult for folks to understand. It's rarely going to happen anyway. What we want to do is change people's views of each other. That meets our goal of reducing affective polarization, and it helps people to let go of the stereotypes they have. I think that's going to allow us eventually to find more collaborative solutions to the problems we have going on right now. Our organization tackled trustworthy elections a couple of years ago. We did 26 workshops across the country with 194 participants. They came up, and these were evenly balanced, red-blue. They came up with over 700 points of agreement on how to run trustworthy elections. We were able to distill those down into about 20 solutions that have now been distributed to public officials and to the media as things that will work for both sides. Here's some of the ways we reduce polarization. The first is finding commonalities. What brings us together rather than what divides us? Next is seeing people on the other side as individuals and not stereotypes. Recognizing others as worthy of respect and admiration, regardless of their political affiliation. And establishing ways to work together and even become friends. I see that in practice all the time in this Kiwanis Club. It doesn't matter what our political affiliations are, we work together as a team. Imagine what it would be like if we all approached our country's issues in that same way. So a good national union, in many ways, looks like a good marriage. There'll be disagreements, and they'll often be heated, but they'll always remain respect and warmth for the other person, for the other party. At times, both sides will find a way to work together, even if they don't agree. So I want to take just a minute and talk about braver politics, which is something I'm very excited about. It's a specific initiative that we're hoping will have a more far-reaching impact. It's designed to create an environment where we can use Braver Angels designs with grassroots organizers and evidence-based, citizen-led opportunities for officials to work with legislators and staff to learn these principles and make some commitments about working together. Our goal is to create some increased trust and make sure we're connecting citizens with those elected officials. So, help us make a difference if you'd like. It's been a fantastic organization to be a part of. I've been moderating workshops with them since 2019. We have a local group in Central North Carolina that puts on events all the time. If you're interested, you can certainly scan the QR code, go to our braverangels.org website. It's only $12 a year to become a member, super cheap. And I've left a sign-up sheet if you're interested in getting the newsletter from the Central North Carolina group. It'll tell you what local events are going on and how you can participate. Thank you all for listening today, and I'd love to take your questions. Yeah, actually, when the organization started in 2016, it was named Better Angels, which is part of it's an Abraham Lincoln quote when he was taking off. It was in his inaugural address. He wanted to appeal to the better angels of our nature. Then we grew and we had some, copy, so we changed it to Braver.
So my question is this, Sandra. What about Facebook? I find myself, as I read Facebook, seeing friends who are saying terrible things about anybody that's not like they are.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, are these people out of their minds?
I think, one of the reasons for this affective polarization, there are a lot of reasons, but one of them certainly is the fact that social media enables people to almost, you can hide behind that, right? People say things and write things on social media they would never, ever say to your face, because it's quite easy to do. So that is definitely an issue, and it's a reactive medium. You don't have any back and forth. You read something, you react, then somebody else reacts, and it is not an effective method of communication at all.
Thank you so much. And I do feel like, just to dovetail that, not just social media, but you're also up against a very powerful media narrative, as well as a very powerful party narrative on both sides that
Correct.
seems to push this polarization further. How do you go up against these two or three great forces?
Yeah. So, it is definitely a grassroots effort. I mean, the only way those efforts don't win is when people question what they read. If you start questioning, and you have to realize whenever you Google something or you read some news articles, everything you click on, they're going to send you more and more and more of exactly the same thing, and then it becomes more and more extreme as time goes on. So until you start to really understand that you're living in your little bubble, if all the information you get is via the internet, via news searches, that sort of thing, you have to make an effort to reach out. I've got a one-on-one conversations partner that I've been talking to for a couple of years, and we send each other media sources, and it's fantastic. So we'll talk about a specific issue, he'll send me an article, I'll send him an article, and I see things that I never would have seen otherwise.
Sandra, is there, for the Braver Angels, maybe long-term impact, is there anything going on in, say, public schools as far as curriculum or programs or something where you could have a Better Angels concept, reach people, whether it's middle school or high school, so they could grow up and be more responsible citizens? Thank you.
Great question, Chris. We have Braver Angels in schools, so we do work with schools at the middle and high school level, and then we have an extensive program across colleges and universities. Debates are in particular popular there. We have a very structured debate process that we use pretty frequently in universities. So yes, we are reaching out to them.
Sandra, I want to say thank you for the work you do for this. This is the first time I've heard about this.
Oh, sure.
But remember Deborah Ross, when she was here, she sort of let us go with, what can we do? And her response was similar. It was just grassroots. You got to stay off that social media and talk to your friends.
Yes.
Thank you.
And talk to people who aren't like you, who don't have the same set of beliefs, and make sure you ask a bunch of questions. Open-ended questions, great way to start. Thank you so much for having me today. We donate a book to read and feed. We're asking our speaker to sign it right now.
Sandra, I really appreciate your work there and for speaking to us about it today. Thank you. Well, as we close out here, we had a lot on our agenda. I do want to let you know, Deborah, thank you for joining us today and for the work that we're going to do on the 10th. Everybody remember to sign up for that. And next week, we are hosting some folks from the New Hope Valley Railway and Rail Museum. I don't know if you guys know about that, but it's down in, we call it the Bonsall Train down at New Hill. And they do really cool work. They have volunteer opportunities. They work a lot with children, and they're really excited to come connect with us. So that's next week. Well, they want us to. So they're going to come introduce themselves first, and then we're going to go find a time to go ride the train. Let's not forget to welcome Dan to the club and sign his apron back there. And then, of course, finally, we'll have a moment of silence for John Brantley.